Good afternoon to all.
Good afternoon, sir.
Eldrigu namaskara. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, thank you so much.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I hope all of you
Namaskara,
had
sir.
very good food. Okay. Lunch is over.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, since it is online mode, I request each one of you to be active. Okay, to be very active, be participative. I just keep looking into your videos. I request everybody to switch on the video. I want everybody to be on the screen. I may ask any one of you to speak while discussing. So, I am very thankful to the Director of Human Resource Development Center and my friend Nanjun Swami for having given me an opportunity to be with you. I request each one of you to be very dynamic, interactive. I'm seeing someone's face. Try to avoid sleeping, try to avoid deviations. The government is spending a lot of money on these programs. And online, as people say, is not that convenient in terms of quality. But it may be convenient to you because you are in your own place learning something. And you should feel that you are offline right in front of me. I want everybody to be very focused on whatever we discuss. And please understand that this is afternoon session, post lunch. Second, it is online. And third one, a theoretical subject is on hand. That is New Education Policy or National Education Policy 2020. Regarding that, specifically skill development initiatives. I feel that most of you are the teachers at secondary level or higher level. Okay, PU lecturers may be there or degree college lecturers may be there. Teacher educators may be there. For everybody, right from LKG teacher up to university teacher, knowing about NEP is very important. There are elderly people, I beg them, I request them to be smiling on the screen, enjoy the session. If at all you feel sleepy, just refresh yourself, go to washroom, wash your face, come back, please don't sleep, okay? And the only reason behind is we are trying to know something about a revolution that has taken place in the field of education after independence, even before independence, of course. So such a kind of revolutionary reform that our government has planned in terms of New Education Policy 2020. All these years we had so many other commissions, so many other reform measures, but by and large, this NEP 2020 is a very comprehensive, deep-rooted, having a vision which can take us forward for about another 2 to 3 decades, 20 to 30 years, we can be relaxed. So such a kind of initiatives have been taken place through NEP. So I want every teacher to know about each and every micro aspect of new education policy. See, tomorrow someone may ask you, what do you know about new education policy? So we should be in a position to answer if anybody asks any question regarding any dimension of these progressive measures that are going on. My dear friends, I think some of you might have already heard about what NEP is, when it came to existence, when it was approved, all those things. But still, some of the issues may get repeated. I'm really sorry if something is overlapping, something is getting repeated quite a number of times. I should go by the slides. Now, this is the topic which extremely depends on slides and points, because this is completely a theoretical issue, not like some pictures can be shown, some videos can be shown, and we can explain on our own way. Though we have got lot of ideas about NEP, I need to depend on slides, keep reading the slides and try to explain the things. So first time I am also depending on slides because lot of information is there. Without slides, if we start talking, we will talk so many things without any control. So such a very vast area is this. So kindly bear with me and excuse me. And these slides are monotonous in a sense, no videos and no pictorial slides. I want your kind concentration. Okay. Now, see, NEP, you know very well, earlier in 1986, educational policies were formed. So, you know very well, 1986, National Policy of Education, which was later modified in the year 1992. Okay. And I do not know whether we remember, I mean, you remember what are the reforms, education reforms that went on in 1986 and what modifications were done in the year 1992. So over the last 3 decades, that means 30 years, lot of significant changes have taken place in Indian education system in almost every segment of the sector, whether it is curriculum construction, pedagogy of teaching, evaluation, or the very aims and objectives of education in Indian context. So in all these sectors, a lot of changes have taken place. But still there are many things, many problems are lying ahead, like inadequacy of enrollment. Enrollment is still a big problem, especially at primary level of education. Quality issues, quality of education, quality of curriculum, quality of teaching, quality of infrastructural facilities, a lack of equity, all these problems are still there. India being a developing country, now gradually moving on towards becoming a developed country, we have still some issues. At this point of time, NEP 2020 has attempted to diagnose these problems and provides innovative solutions to solve the problems right from preschool up to higher education institutions. So my dear friends, NEP covers like a big umbrella every aspect of education right from pre-primary education level, okay, primary level of education up to higher education levels. So like this. Now, it is a document that outlines the vision for education in India in the 21st century. We have already entered 21st century and still we are behind when compared to other countries as far as definitely skill is concerned. So NEP 2020 is a comprehensive framework that aims to transform the whole education system in India. ಸೊ ಇಡೀ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸಬೇಕು, ರಚನಾತ್ಮಕವಾಗಿ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ 21ನೇ ಶತಮಾನವನ್ನು ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. So as you know very well, already by this time, it was approved by the Union Cabinet of India in the year 2020 in the month of July on 29th. So that is why it is called NEP 2020. So it mainly aims at revolutionizing the whole Indian education system through progressive changes. This one should know. All changes what being proposed are definitely progressive changes, leading to transformation. So the whole thing is being transformed. How education was earlier, before independence, and how it was soon after independence, and how it was in the last 2 decades. Now, how it will be in the future. Okay, that is very, very important. And let me tell you, this NEP has been analyzed by other educational experts of different countries in the world. Everybody is surprised. How come this kind of a very planned progressive reforms have been really putting into task like. So it is very transformative, it is progressive, and In total, it mainly focuses on holistic development of every student in India with vocational skills.
ನೀವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅನಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು
Dr. Suresh KP, please mute your this one systems. You can't talk to others when you are on the session, no. Please understand. Dr. Suresh. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. No, online education means it is for your convenience. You need to be more focused on these issues. You can't keep working something else. So with increased investments and decentralization, NAP aims to make India a knowledge superpower. In fact, being an Indian, each one of us should be very proud of this new reform, because this is definitely taking India to the toppest position in the world in another decade or two, the two being knowledge superpower. So this is very important. I would like to give you some statistics through the slides. I can just only read this. See, each slide, of course, I can share all these slides with you. Each slide has a lot of information, self-explanatory. I need not use my own sentences to explain it. Okay. So India is one of the youngest nations in the world, with more than 54% of the total population below 25 years of age, and about 62% of the population in the working age group. That is 15 to 60 years something. So please understand, when compared to most of the other countries, whether it is developed countries or underdeveloped, India is almost at the top of the world, having more than 50% who are youths. Okay, youths below 25 years. That means in the next years, next to 2 decades or 3 decades, we can achieve a lot of things when compared to other countries. And over 62% of the population is within the working age group. That means 15 to 60 years. So this demographic advantage will last only until 2040. So as a common man, as a progressive teacher, you can think, now it is 2023. Within another 17 years, within another 17 or 20 years, all those people who are below 25 years will be in working group. So what kind of work they should take up, how they can lead our country to the top. So they need some skilled jobs, they need employment, they need some say good quality of life. So the real problem starts after 2040 for us. So India therefore has a very narrow time, hardly some 17 to 20 years, to frame, to harness its demographic dividend and to overcome its skill shortages. Now the topic is, what is NEP doing, or what NEP proposes regarding development of skills. My dear friends, I'm sorry if I was a little harsh in the beginning. Your children, my children, and all the youth population of India, they need quality life. They want some skilled jobs. Now the future belongs to those people who are skilled workforce. So just imagine, our children will become a part of this big country in the world. If they don't have skills, how do they live? So our families are directly involved. In fact, NEP is helping our family, helping our kids. Otherwise, they cannot have any quality life in the future. So there is something called skill shortages, skill gap. What the world needs and what our children are, they are totally two different things. So this is called skill gap. So keeping this in view, please understand, our children now who are below 25 years or 20 years should never become unemployed in the next 2 decades. So keeping that in view, we need to be very careful on knowing these things and appreciate the initiatives. India's skilling challenge is further affected by the fact that skill training efforts cut across multiple sectors and require the involvement of diverse stakeholders, like multiple government departments at the center and state levels, private training providers, educational and training institutions, employers, industry associations, and assessment and certification bodies, etc. See, giving skilled profession to the very vast population of youth in a big country like India is a great challenge. Let me be very slow with you, dear friends. Think about this seriousness. Now, how is it possible to cater to the needs of almost 55-60% of the youth population to be given jobs in the next 2 decades? How to find opportunities? How to provide employment? Then, see, do they possess all required skills? I'm not sure. See, there are so many surveys conducted, which I am going to share with you. Very serious demographic profile that we have. In the next couple of slides, you will come to know about it. So, now this is the joint venture of all these people, government departments at center and state level, private training providers, educational institutions, training centers, employers, industries, assessment and certification authorities. All of them should join their hands and make it possible in the next 2 decades. So all these stakeholders need to align their work. That is what I said, alignment with a synergy to work together and achieve the target of Skill India. My dear friends, please, with an open-mindedness, you can think. Earlier, the word skill, the concept of skill was not that important for the people here for the last 2 or 3 decades. Long ago, even in villages, there were skilled people who used to work the same thing. Professionally inherited skills were there. After that, because of education, most of the rural, local skills, they have gone. Now we are depending on science and technology and industries. New skills, new people, new youths. So this is a very big challenge. Fine. I can give you some pictures here, very interesting pictures. Unemployment is not a new issue in our country, of course. According to India Skills Report 2022 by VBox, okay, only 48.7% of the total youth in India is employable. Andre 100% youth alli 48% matra, andre almost less than 50% are employable. So what do you do for the rest of the 50%? That means almost 1 out of 2 Indian youths are not employable. Employable means what? They don't have employability skills. We don't want to recruit them because they don't possess any skills. So such kind of youth population is 50%. Remember, see how sad it is. The study also says that about 75% of all the companies surveyed reported a skill gap in the industry. So companies which are private companies were requested by the government, they conducted a survey. Okay, most of the people, they said that 75% of the companies say that there is a very big skill gap in India. So skill gap is affecting the employability scenario in almost every sector. As per the Indian Labour Organization, there will be a skill deficit of 29 million by 2030. Now it is 2023. In another 7 years, 29 million people will be unemployed. So this is the problem. 1 million means 10 lakhs. Understand? So just imagine 29 million. So they will be unemployed because they don't have skill set, required skills. So which will definitely affect our GDP, gross domestic product. Okay. According to a research conducted by National Association of Software and Service Companies, NASSCOM, you must have heard about it. Every year, more than 3 million graduates and postgraduates are added to the Indian human resource stream. And out of these, only 25% of IT graduates are considered employable by fast-growing IT and ITES industries. So only 25% of the youth that are added to the already existing ocean of graduates, only 25% of IT graduates are getting some jobs. Others, of course, low profile jobs and underemployment, unemployment, all these are increasing. According to a survey by Skillsoft, the skill gap in the IT sector is getting significantly worse, even in IT sector. As the industry grapples with talent shortage and employee retention. Now you might be knowing that every year there is something called recession. There is something called cost cut. Most of the companies are sending off their employees either for lack of skills nor lack of financial resources. It is very difficult to manage. Even the world best technical industries or technology software companies, like I don't want to mention, even otherwise you can just say Infosys or TCS or whoever it is, they are also worrying about these things. So retention of good employees is a big problem. Training of newly employed people, that is another big problem. And giving salary that is expected out of their expenditure is again another problem. As much as 66% of IT decision makers see skill gaps in their teams as a major problem. You can just understand, 2/3 of the people who are working in industries, they lack the required skills. Still the companies are taking care of them. So 2/3 of the working people, let me tell you, they lack skills. So this study found that the skill gap problem is being driven by both difficulties of hiring. It is very difficult to hire good people by software companies or IT companies. And retaining already employed skilled laborers is yet another problem, because they make a move to any other company which pays them more. So they are investing a lot of money on training, development, research, all these things, but it is not being such a profitable thing for them. Then skills and knowledge are the driving forces of economic growth, you know very well. So if a country has to become progressive, it should be skill-based society. Economic development of any country depends mainly on the competence of the employees, skill, knowledge, and even attitude. Okay, countries with higher levels and better standards of skills adjust more effectively to the challenges and opportunities in domestic and international job market. See, you have seen whether it is America or China or Germany or Japan, see, they can easily adjust themselves very well because they have got a lot of people, lot of population which is skill based. But in a country like India, we have some problems of adjusting to the requirements. So there is an imbalance between demand and supply. That is what going on right now. So India currently faces a severe shortage of well-trained, skilled workers. So this is what I've been saying. It is estimated that only 2.3% of the workforce in India has undergone formal skill training as compared to 68% in UK. Look, we are just 2.3%. That means out of every 100 persons, only 2 to 3 persons are skilled. They are trained with skills. Whereas in England, it is almost like 68 to 70%. And UK, then 75% in Germany. Look, 52% in United States of America, and 80% in Japan, and 96% in South Korea. Now, this is a very, very important statistics. You can just understand, out of 100 Koreans, 96 Koreans are skilled. They are trained with skills. So only 4 persons out of 100 persons may be not suitable for, unfit for this. But in India, 98%, 97% people are unskilled. So how is South Korea and how is India? You can understand. Japan, okay, 80%. Earlier it was more. So that is why I have given you red color to this particular paragraph. It is very, very dangerous statistics. So large sections of the educated workforce have little or no job skills. So we have got educated people. Most of them are graduates, but no jobs, no skills. So most of them are unemployable. I am not telling unemployed. They are unemployable. That means they cannot be taken to any industries. That is why they are unemployed. Why a man becomes unemployed? Because he is unemployable. Therefore, India must focus on scaling up skill training efforts. This is what going on in NEP. I hope you understand the heat of the situation. We need to scale up our training efforts. We need to make it more effective to meet the demands of employers and drive economic growth. In spite of all these problems, our GDP is good when compared to other countries. Think, if we have all good fellows like Korea, 96%, 86% in Japan, like that, how our country will be in the future. So the introduction of NEP 2020 has been a bold movement that has revolutionized the Indian education industry. It is expected to improve the educational standards of students both in school as well as in colleges. So I told you, right from primary level up to university level. So it's a revolutionary reform, transition from a learning-based approach to a skill-based model. This is a very important statement. So gradually, and now in the future, in the very near future, we may feel that a sudden change in the employment sector. Most of the educational aspects will be pivoted around skill. So there is a shift or transition or modification from learning-based approach, knowledge-based approach to a skill-based model of teaching, learning, curriculum transaction and everything. So LBA to SBM, LBA to SBM. This is what you need to know. The proposal to introduce vocational education from 6th grade onwards and create a national committee for the integration of vocational education, National Committee for Integrating Vocational Education, NCIVE, is viewed as a very important reform that will certainly take the Indian educational market to the peak of success in the times to come. My dear friends, if anybody asks you what is a revolutionary movement in NEP 2020, this is nothing but converting or modifying or transforming knowledge-based educational system into skill-based education system, mainly through integrating what is called vocational education into the mainstream of education. Vocational education. So this is the most revolutionary thing in NEP. Earlier we had vocational education and people had some low profile opinion on that. What is your son doing? He is doing some vocational course, means people used to look down upon on those issues. But now, without vocational blending or without vocational education being blended with formal education, I don't think we can survive in the future. So we have to welcome once again vocational education to be harmoniously blended along with the formal education system to meet the skill requirements in the future. So NEP adopts a learner-centric approach, Vidyarthi Kendrita Vidhanagalu, focusing on experiential and lifelong learning. Now these are all the modifications, these are all the changes, these are all the reforms to convert what? Unemployed Indian graduates to what? Skilled employees in the future. Otherwise, the problem is going to be really worst. So it is only through learner-centered approaches, experiential learning, lifelong learning, vocationalization of education. Vocationalization of education. Vocation andre ವೃತ್ತಿ, vocational, ವೃತ್ತಿಪರತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸದ ಹಂತಗಳಿರಬಹುದು. Just if it is knowledge based, it is of no use. Knowledge which is not applied is knowledge is not knowledge at all. It is something like money earned without spending cannot be a money. It is only a currency note, in the sense a paper piece. So in the same way, knowledge has to be transformed into attitude. Attitude should be transformed into action. Action in terms of profession. So for that, skills are very much required. So right now we have started thinking about how to blend vocational education with the formal, conventional, traditional education that we had since so many centuries, so many decades, so that both of them go together. This is called blended approach. Hereafter, your children or grandchildren will not study only from the point of knowledge. The times are coming up where they have to select one or other one or two specialized subjects which are skill based. Removing rigid distinction among curricular, extracurricular, co-curricular subjects in schools with the integration of vocational education into mainstream education in a gradual manner. This is a revolutionary change. Now, no more distinction between co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, curricular activities. Curriculum in total will have all these things. Every subject will be taught only through skill-based approach, activity mode of teaching, practicals, demonstrations, field studies, projects, and including information and communication technology, gadgets, or discoveries, or whatever it is, principles of ICT into education. The proposed vocational skill exposure starting from the middle and secondary grades through internship opportunities help students to have all kinds of skills. Andre, vocational education has been introduced right from secondary level and it goes up to apprenticeship in higher level. Say a student will join 8th standard in a high school, CBSE school. So along with other subjects, he has to study one or two skill-based papers, skill-based areas or topics or courses. Then, so just for studying, he will start with that. And by the time he completes his education, say graduation level, he would be ready to take up apprenticeship. When once he joins apprenticeship, almost he is settled with one or the other kind of employments. So please understand, this policy gives way for internship, entrepreneurship with a kind of tie-up with all the industries in the center. Hence, the NEP envisages a renewed focus on promoting creativity and curiosity among young minds to make the curriculum of schools and colleges more skilled-oriented, thereby leading to a transformation of our youth into tangible global resources. I'm sorry, I'm not able to ask you questions. Earlier, I used to ask many questions because this is a draft of NEP that I've been presenting in front of you, highlighting some of the points. I don't think I can have an interaction continuously with you because this is such a vast area. Within 2 sessions, I have to complete around almost 68, 70 slides. So wherever I can ask you questions, wherever I can ask you your opinion, so that time I'll definitely ask you. Skill development is a continually evolving process. It does not stop at one stage. You know that it is a continuous going on process. To become an Atmanirbhar Bharat, I think you have been listening to it from our great Prime Minister of India, who is also a global leader. So he keeps telling, let us have Atmanirbhar Bharat. We should never depend on any other country. Better not to import. Let us manufacture whatever we require in our own country, consuming or using our own national natural resources, so that we can save a lot of money on one side and give innumerable employment opportunities to our Indian youth. So 2 visions behind one particular decision. On one side, let us save money by using the locally available resources and manufacture whatever we require for our sake. Within India, we need not depend on other countries. Okay. Then secondly, when we start doing it here only, we can make use of our own resources, our own human resources also. So employment opportunities will also be more. Then NEP intends to establish a strong workforce equipped with functional skills, including life skills, to meet the challenges of the times ahead. So dear friends, I think I have to tell you, if our children have to survive, they need to have a lot of training on life skills. Those who are very good in life skills will rule the world, can lead life very satisfactorily. So keeping this also in view, NEP has developed quite a number of reforms or measures which take care of all kinds of skills. There are hard skills, there are soft skills, there are technical skills, there are life skills. Okay, so every kind of skill finds its own place. In the next few slides, I can read out what are the different courses that are there, okay, which are available in the market today. And let me tell you, my dear friends, earlier we used to say it is very difficult to find a job. But now I am telling you, it is very easy to find a job. The only thing is you need to possess the required skill set. Okay. So skill development is a significant driver to address poverty reduction in India by improving employability and inclusive growth. I want each one of you to focus on these words. Employability. Employability means the capacity or the competence to get employed. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಇಂಟರ್ವ್ಯೂಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೇವೆ. How to empower youth with employability skills. That is the matter today. Youth empowerment with employment skills. So even I have suggested some of the schools and colleges to have what? Employability skill training programs. So it facilitates a cycle of high productivity, increased employment opportunities, income, growth, and overall development. See, ultimately the national development or economic development depends on how productive each and every citizen of a country is. Very important. How productive a citizen. So the future of country depends on every individual, single person who lives in the society. So NEP is a game changer of the Indian education system. I have given the word. NEP 2020 will not only reduce the social stigma associated with considering vocation as a career opportunity, but will also provide students a plethora of promising career avenues. So please understand, whether it is vocational education or anything like that, is not bad, is not negative, is not something to be seen at a lower profile or with a lower version. It is providing us a plethora of promising career avenues. You may not believe, I was just going through the whole list of employment opportunities, whole list of professions. It crosses 1,000. It crosses 1,000. So earlier it was not like that. Plenty of opportunities, plenty of avenues, plenty of roadmaps. The only thing is we need to decide where to go, what to do according to our benefits or abilities. So the vision of the government via this initiative is to meet the 2030 agenda. What is 2030 agenda? See, India wants to become sustainably strong country in the world. Sustainable development. Susthira Bhivruddhi. A development which long lasts for more than a century. So if the next century has to be very strong for us, right now in the next couple of decades, we need to be very, very careful. So at least by 2030, only 7 years are left. We need to become strong and stabilized. So this is possible only if every one of us join our hands with NEP 2020. Fine. Now it creates benefits. No, we are talking about benefits of skill development. Why one has to develop skill? Why our children should be very good in skills more than knowledge? Of course, knowledge is very important because skill is a product of knowledge. First, it becomes information, then knowledge, then that is understood, then that is applied, analyzed, interpreted, okay, and finally that is converted into attitude, then finally that becomes action. So that is skill-based work. So what are the benefits of skill development for our youth? Look, I mean, just read it out because I'm really sorry, don't mistake me. If I read, I can cover up all the slides. If I go on explaining, so many things come in between, we may get deviated. So what are the benefits of skill development? It creates a workforce empowered with the necessary and continuously upgraded skills. Skill cannot be stagnated. ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಒಂದು ಕೌಶಲ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಕೌಶಲ ಸಂವರ್ಧನೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಮನಚಾಗಬೇಕು. Additional micro aspects of skill have to be trained up, and finally refined skilled person has to be emerged. So skills are continuously upgraded. Knowledge and internationally recognized qualifications to gain access to decent employment and ensure India's competitiveness in the dynamic global market. Now, have we ever dreamt of competing with other developed countries in the world before 30 years? I want to ask you this question. When I was a kid, when I was doing my high school education in a rural government high school, Kannada medium school, I was worrying too much about other countries. People say that America is very beautiful, Japan is very good, Germany, France, Italy, they are all very good countries, and India is a poor country. People used to say that. So I used to feel so bad. Now, what kind of positive and progressive transformation has taken place in the last decade, or last couple of decades, especially after independence? So now we are gradually moving towards challenging ourselves with the global market. We want to produce workforce, skilled professionals who can find jobs not only within India, but also in almost all the countries of the world for a better salary that indirectly helps our GDP to grow. So there are indirect developments. You may ask me a question. We are here training people, and these people will go to foreign countries and they serve other countries. What is the advantage to our mother India? Remember, we also give employment opportunities to all of them. And since our country is under transformation, we may not find equal number of job opportunities. Then we can only offer them very good job skills. They can use that and start their companies elsewhere. There is something called entrepreneurship, startups, even in NEP, so which I will later come across. So increases the productivity and employability of workforce, both in the organized sectors and unorganized sectors. I told you, dear friends, please try to avoid taking rest or moving away here and there, seeing you on the screen. So these words are keeping repeating: productivity and employability. This is very, very important. Increases participation of youth, women, disabled, and even other disadvantaged sections of the society. Now, NEP gives opportunity to bring all the people to the mainstream, whether they are physically handicapped or people with special abilities. India wants every person to be employed in his own way. So all become equal. Think of the wonder world, India, with all kinds of people in all sectors of society becoming equal. Now, there cannot be gaps like middle class, second class, first class, okay, above average, below. Such kind of classifications should never happen in the future. NEP is a medicine for that. I want everybody to mute their systems. So youth, women, everybody synergizes efforts of the various sectors. I think you must be knowing about what synergy is. Synchronization of energy. That is called synergy. Someone is talking again. So synergy means, see, all efforts put by all different kinds of sectors should be synchronized. So whatever the labor market demands, that should be provided for all these things. Yeah. So building a transformative and holistic learning environment for students. Students are exceptionally prepared to face modern world challenges, pursue their passions, and acquire all the potentials which are required. I do not know. I have seen number of cases. I keep conducting research, then counseling. I use some interest inventories on children. You may not believe, children, they are by and large, basically, they are very good, very intelligent. May not be good in studies, but they will be very good in skills. We have educated people with knowledge, but we don't have skilled people. So please identify what your child is good at. I'm a psychotherapist. I'm a counselor also. I have my counseling center in Mysore. Normally, I keep counseling students and their parents, especially regarding career choices and other things. I am seeing that children, by and large, naturally, sahajavagi avaru skilled, but we make them study well on knowledge base and score more marks, and we don't worry about how his future will be. We feel that if he scores very good marks, he will get into some engineering courses or medical courses. Let me tell you, there are more than 100 courses which are equally profitable. Equally profitable. They can earn a lot of money. So, how this NEP is transforming Indian education system? It is done through 4 approaches. I want you people to know about these 4 approaches. One is holistic development, all-round and comprehensive development of a child. Not only on knowledge, but more than knowledge, application of knowledge, analysis of knowledge, interpretation of knowledge, and finding something new out of that. Conduct research, develop skills, get your skills sharpened, analyze what skills are necessary in the near future. So take that skill, become master, okay, like that. Holistic development means comprehensive all-round development of your child. So a child will develop in all sectors, flexibility and choices. You know about NEP. Another very important feature of NEP is it gives a lot of courses which are flexible. You can quit at any time with at least one diploma certificate, at least from a certificate, okay, or at least from a graduation certificate or something like that. So flexibility is there, choice, lot of chances to choose your own arena is there. Focus on skill development. Now, please understand these are the 4 areas, 4 approaches in NEP. The whole NEP is based on these 4 areas. Holistic development of students, giving them quite a number of variety of professional opportunities, courses, so which gives them lot of choices to make a decision, and focus on skill development. This is very important, and right now I am dealing with this with you, and integrating vocational training with the mainstream of formal education. So what is holistic development? I need not explain. I just read it out. Please understand. There is a shift from the conventional content heavy and rote learning practice. Content heavy, conventional ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಂಪ್ರದಾಯಿಕ, ಹೆಚ್ಚು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಹೊತ್ತಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರೆಯುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಅಂಥ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಇಂದ ಹೋಲಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಕಡೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. And through multidisciplinary and creative curriculums, we are focusing these people to have. So we are treating all the subjects like mathematics, humanities, sports, fitness, languages, culture, arts, etc. apart from science and mathematics. So don't say that science and mathematics are the only 2 subjects which are very important. No, that is a very mad idea. So normally people would like to join their children for science. Why this kind of disparity? There is nothing like that. So recognizes the importance of soft skills such as, these are the soft skills which are very much important. Even you can introspect yourself. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೇ ನಾವು ಅಂತರಾವಲೋಕನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ. Out of 10, how many marks you can give to yourself? So skills like communication skills, working successfully in a team. Together everybody achieves more. So how are you in a team? How do you lead a team? What leadership qualities you have? How are your problem solving skills? How good are you in taking and making a decision? Taking a decision, making a decision. So making comes first and then taking. And how good are you in analysis? Resilience. So this is very important. Resilience means you must be knowing that one should be strong. One should never give away. He should have withstand. Say for example, I have a startup. I would spend around 10 lakhs on a startup. On the room rent ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ, office ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀನಿ. I will employ 2 or 3 persons. Suddenly within a year or two, I will find that it is very, very huge loss because of corona, whatever it is. So I should not give up. I should not lose my heart. With the same kind of energy, I should continue. I should get stabilized. If not this, I will try with another one. If this startup fails, let me have another startup. Like that, strong-minded and deeply established attitude should be there for people. That is called resilience. You may not believe, my dear friends, many children, when they fail in one of the courses or when they fail to get a job, they will be in the clutches of depression, as I have seen. Many children, that should never happen. And they should learn even leadership skills. So all these skills are treated as imperative life skills. Imperative life skills means very, very important major skills without which life cannot go in the next couple of decades. So that is why they are called imperative skills. Mainly communication skill, working together with cooperation, coordination, with team management skills. One should be good in problem solving skills, decision making skills, analytical thinking, being resilient, and having lot of leadership skills. They are all very important. These are called global skills. So how are your children at home on these issues? Are they good in communication? Do they shine in a team? Do they have problem solving abilities? Do they take right decisions at right time? Do they analyze in terms of research bent of mind? Do they possess leadership qualities to lead a team? So how are these? Try to know. So what kind of further education that you can afford to them? That is what our concern is now. Okay, that is how NEP is coming to our help. I am very happy that even my children are now getting education which is totally skill based. When they start getting education only, you can take it for granted that after the course they get employed. Please understand. So education ultimately leads to what? Employment. Why should we get education today, especially youth? To lead life with an employment. If education does not lead to any employment, then what is the use of getting education? Even today I have seen my own students, because of lack of these skills, they are, even today after 20 years, 30 years of graduation, they are helpless, they are what? Unemployed or underemployed. Remember, the course certificate, degree certificate with good marks is not enough. It is only a certificate which indicates that you are a graduate. But nobody is sure of what is your level of efficiency in tackling a problem, in doing a work, in the accomplishment or execution of a job, okay, or handling a company. So that kind of skill is very much required today. Okay, that is why we need to be smart in deciding what kind of education our children should get. So NEP 2020 allows foreign universities to set up their campuses and operating in India that help Indian students have access to global quality education along with international exposure. Tell me, dear friends, people are very proud saying that their children are software engineers or medical professionals working in other countries for a higher salary. Okay, even in India they can earn. And remember, India is attracting many other countries to establish their universities with their standard of education, and our Indian students will undergo these courses, obtain all those skills, become internationally fit, and they can work anywhere in the world, earning a lot of money even to the Indian government. So this is how logically these intricacies are connected. So please understand, giving an international exposure is a must. Now, why people move to other countries? Why do they want to do MS? Why do they want to do courses in other countries like Australia, then America, or Canada these days? So nearly 1.8 to 2 lakhs of students join some of the universities in Canada every year. 2 lakhs of students. One particular university. Okay. How is it happening? Why India fails to attract people from other countries? So especially well-developed countries. So this is a question to be answered. So the answer is very simple. We don't have skill training sectors which can satisfy the skill development of the people according to the requirements of the future. So recognizing the importance of these soft skills, please understand, we have to gear up, we have to derive some courses which can offer these skills. So they are prepared to face competition and be in par with global standards. Our children or our Indian students, they should be prepared to face global challenges. The next one is flexibility and choice, you know very well. The policy imparts flexibility and choice to learners in their school education journey. It focuses on student-centric approach, enabling students to choose subjects. A very wide arena of a plethora of subjects are available. So I wish I should have been now in schools and colleges. And there is focus on skill development all through the education, especially to meet the demands of the 21st century job market. The same skills here also mentioned. Policy integrates skills like problem solving. Remember, problem solving depends on logical thinking. Samasya parihara kaushalaಗಳು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಡ್ ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟಿದೆ. Critical thinking, ವಿಮರ್ಶಾತ್ಮಕ ಚಿಂತನೆ, what is right, what is wrong, what to be done, what should not be done, something like that. Communication, samvahana, and digital literacy. Now these days its sound is more digital literacy. Earlier it was computer literacy. Functional literacy we want. See, not just literates, functionally literates. So to meet the requirements of 21st century job market, these skills are very, very important. Many a times, even when you see your own children, you feel bad. You might have felt bad. Why my son or daughter is not able to communicate properly? He doesn't talk. He doesn't think. He doesn't have problem solving skills. We worry too much about it. So such children will definitely have a lot of opportunities in the near future. And I have already told you about vocational training. Okay, so I need not tell you about that again. So transformative role of NEP in skill development. ಬೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಬೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಇದು ಬರೀ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನಿಂಗ್ ಇಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನಾನು ಈ ತರ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ನಾನು ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಡ್ರಾಫ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ಉದ್ದೇಶ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. If I stick on to one particular simple and single aspect, I would have explained so many things and I would have interacted with you so many things. ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಇದೆ. ಒನ್ ಫುಲ್ ಡೇ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇನಫ್. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಯು ಟು ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ measures are going on through NEP in all sectors of education, so that our students will have good time in the future when we are not living on this planet. Even after our death, our children should be comfortably living. So that is my concern. Your children, our children, and our Indian students, they are all our children only. So NEP 2020, it's a transformative blueprint. I have already told you, for the nation's education system that has generated widespread enthusiasm among educators and schools. I do not know about you, friends. I do not know how many of you have gone through NEP draft. So some of you might have glanced over it. Some of you might have read some part of it. I request each one of you, whenever you find time, please go through every single page of the draft. You will start appreciating it. Such a kind of beautiful thought has come to the minds of Indian educators. No other way for us. Okay. So this visionary policy seeks to revolutionize the way knowledge being imparted and also places a rigid importance or emphasis on skill development as a significant pillar of education. So no more things. One mantra, single mantra. If you want to grow rapidly, learn some skills. So skill-based society, skill-based community, skill-based profession, everything is skill-based. Skill India, that is why we call it. In today's highly competitive environment, the requisite relevant skills are critical for students' success. Earlier, skill means skill of conducting experiment, skill of demonstration, skill of observation, skill of drawing, something like that. That's all. But now, professionally related, relevant, okay, skills are plenty in number. That has to be added. So recognizing the role of NEP in skill development, the government has introduced an exhaustive framework that integrates skill development across all education levels. Now, earlier, only after SSLC, some ITI, Indian Training Institutes, or some diploma institutes, or some technical institutes, only they were working, electrical or something like that. So now that kind of conventional idea has gone. People will move across the country to learn one particular skill. See, one of my friend's son has moved to Canada to study for 2 semesters something about post-production in movies. Post-production. Even in India, there are some universities which will give training on these issues. But why he preferred other country? So there the standard of education, standard of training, infrastructural facilities, the curriculum, then the teachers, then evaluation systems, they all are very good, very objective. When once he or she is certified over there, definitely they can shine anywhere in the world. That is called international standard levels. So please understand that we are trying to move in that way. In today's, you know very well that relevant skills are very much needed. Recognizing the role of NEP in skill development, government has introduced exhaustive framework. That is what we are going to learn now. From the foundational stage to higher education. Foundational stage means what? You must be knowing about NEP 2020 curricular pattern. 5+3+3+4 system of education is there. Okay, 10+2+3 has gone. 5+3+3+4. So 5 years of foundation, something like that. From there only we have started teaching skills to children. Okay, so from the foundation stage up to higher level, post-graduation level, doctoral level, the aim of NEP is to equip students with all the vital competencies and abilities to thrive in a rapidly growing world. I don't know whether it is fortunate or unfortunate, we are in the rat race. We are losing our patience. We are losing our peace of mind. Everywhere competitive world, okay, everywhere. Not only in India, everywhere in the world. So in that kind of situation, how our children work. So that is very, very important. Competency-based education, I don't know whether you know about it or not. Competence, samarthya. So competence is the combination of 3 things, dear friends. Can anybody tell me which are the 3 components of competence? Just for a change. Tippeswamy ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಾ? Nayana madam? Anybody? Sharana Naik? Yes, Sharana Naik?
Sir, believe on ourselves.
Sir.
Rajendra Kumar?
Believe on ourselves, sir. ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ.
What I am asking you, competence ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದು 3 ಅಂಶಗಳಿಂದ ಮಾಡಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಸರ್. 3 components will combine to form competence. When I say Rajendra Kumar is very competent, Sharan Naik is competent, Nirmala madam is very competent ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 3 ಅಂಶಗಳು ಇರಬೇಕು. ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ? Yes, madam.
Skill, ability.
Yeah, knowledge, skill, and experience.
2 things are okay, madam. Suhasini, madam.
Knowledge, skill, and experience.
Skill, knowledge,
Experience. Experience.
Okay. It is. See, competence is the product of combination of 3 things. One is knowledge. Second one is attitude, manodhorane, manobhavane, okay, and skill. Knowledge, attitude, skill. KAS. ಇದನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇವನ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾಲೆಜ್, ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್, ಸ್ಕಿಲ್, ಈ 3 ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಫ್ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So basic components of competence are these three. So all our Indian students should be very competent enough to get employment in all the sectors of society. For that, NEP is playing a very vital role. So try to have more interest, madam, please. A UNICEF report in the year 2019 estimates that at least 47% of Indian youth are not on track to have education and skills necessary for employment in 2030. So 4 years back, UNICEF has given a report which says that 4 years means another 7 years are left for 2030. In the next 10 years, whatever the skill market is there, skill professions are there, nearly 47% of our youth are not having those skills. They have not learned. 47%, almost 50%. Another study estimates that merely 20% out of the 5 million students who graduate every year get employed in India. Every year, there is a certain number of graduates are coming out of universities. Only 20% of them are getting employment. What about the other 80%? So what is the main reason behind it? So the main reason for poor employability is that often there is a demand supply gap. And already heard the name, demand and supply gap. Okay. Between the skills acquired by the students and the skills required by the employers. Skills acquired by the students and skills required by the employers. Tumba wide gap is there. Now this is called skill gap. What we want from others, but what do they possess? Two things are very, very different. So wide gap is there. We need to connect the dots between these and connect them, bridge them. Bridging the skill gap is a very important thing. So NEP is trying to solve this mismatch. This is called skill mismatch. Mismatching is there. What is there? What is wanted? Two different things. Normative expectancies of industries. Okay. But existential realities, both are two different things. Reality is unskilled graduates. Expectation is skilled graduate. We want skilled people, not knowledge-based people. So that is what skill mismatch is. So the main concern of NEP 2020 is to address this issue, not only by providing adequate employment opportunities for the youth, but also increasing their employability skill as per the current and future trend at the workplace. So two challenges are there. Number one, providing them employment opportunities. And two, providing people who are already employed with additional skills or skills which are necessary for the continuation of their employment. So this is very important. Then the talent skill gap exists significantly, existing at various levels, affecting the employability scenario of almost every sector. Take any sector, problem is there. So as per the ILO, International Labour Organization, there will be a skill deficit of 29 million by 2030. I have already told you. So that is why GDP may come down in the future. GDP. So due to this gap, businesses are unable to find and recruit talent that matches their expectations due to lack of futuristic skills. What skills are necessary for the next decade? Before choosing a career for your own children, please study NEP draft. They have given a very wide arena of opportunities. Sit with your children. Your children means at home. Sit with your students in your college and help them to take a decision. I hope some of you must be having placement cell in your colleges. So through the placement cell, you can have a half-day program on these things. What NEP is doing for skill development. What are the various professions that are waiting for them? So in which profession they have more interest? Ask each student to list out around 5 professions with a hierarchy, with a preference. Okay. And ask them to see where they can pursue this kind of education. So that is very important. Okay. So NEP 2020 is a blessing in disguise. That is what I have been telling you right now, which will help bridging this gap by providing students with industry relevant skills. Industry relevant skills. Some of you must be knowing about artificial intelligence. There's a wide discussion going on between whether AI is required or not. If AI comes to full force, unemployment problems may definitely increase. Okay, in all aspects of fields, in all the professional fields, AI is under use. AI is being used. Okay, that works within a fraction of a minute. A work that can be done by human beings taking 1 month, 2 months, something like that. So industry relevant skills are very, very much important to make them future ready professionals. Future ready professionals. Andreno, ಮುಂದೆ 10 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಗ್ರೋ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗಲಿಂದಲೇ ನಾವು ತಯಾರಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು. India largest working age population in the world by 2030, and it's a challenge to provide employment to huge youth population. Futuristic demographic studies ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದಿನ 10 ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡೀ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದರದ್ದು ಡೆಮೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲ್ ಸ್ಟಡೀಸ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಾಗ in another 7 years India becomes number 1 in the world with highest percentage of youth population ready for work. Just 7 years time ಇದೆ ನಮಗೆ. ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. It is not the question of my son or your daughter or our family. Our family or our children cannot be safe if India is not safe. If all others are not having jobs, though our children have jobs, then also it is not safe. So there is something called societal imbalance. Insecurity will be there. Lot of clashes. So all these things will happen if the next 2 decades do not witness 40 to 45% of the left out percentage students. No, they should get employed. Otherwise, it is a problem. So please understand, these things are so important. Nobody is sensitive about these things. So NEP 2020 paving the way for experiential and skill-based learning, aiming at promoting students' employability in the future. So employs skill-based learning models. So it has already come to picture now. In most of the CBSE schools, we are seeing using of SBLMs, skill-based learning models, that help acquire skills through practice and persistence. Remember, skill-based approach has already started right from primary level. So NEP seeks to equip young people with the knowledge and skills necessary to confidently lead the country to superpower, focusing on holistic development. I have already told you, flexible and multidisciplinary education. What is multidisciplinary education? Anybody knows? Multidisciplinary education.
Knowledge in various fields.
No, multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary.
Maybe science, commerce, arts, ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಷಯದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಚೂರು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು.
Okay, not like that. Anybody knows what integrated approach is? Dr. Supriya madam, Chandrasekhar sir, Arpita Patil madam. Any idea about what is interdisciplinary approach? What is multidisciplinary approach? Break one. Last 1 minute. So multidisciplinary means learning many subjects with